Okay, my name is Charlette Domingo and I'm running for External Secretary. So this year I've tried my best to be as active as a member as I possibly could, whether it's participating in the GBMs and the socials and the bake sales. And I even tried to do a little bit more by providing or sharing the cultural costumes that I have from my mom for Pistahan, and I choreographed the tinikling portion of the epic. And so next year I really want to share more and contribute more because I know that I can. The reason why I have a lot to offer is because my mom was born and raised in the Philippines, and while she was there, she choreographed and taught a dance troupe that competed and showcased at the national level. And then when she moved to the States in Hawaii, she continued to share her love for dance. And so she continued to teach dances for other organizations in Hawaii. And so I grew up sort of immersed in her love of culture and dance, and I really want to share that with FASA. This year I lived on the Shriver Living Learning Community, and I was historian for the Living Learning Community. And so originally I wanted to run for historian, but I didn't, because I have been historian for 2 or 3 years now, in high school for student to student and Shriver class, of course, for the last year. And so when I was nominated for External Secretary, I wanted to use this opportunity to grow as a person and to grow my skill set. And so, but being historian, I am very good at editing videos, filming videos, editing music, and taking pictures. So I can contribute more to FASA than just my knowledge in cultural dances. I can be a very diverse e-board member. I'm also the Shriver representative, so each Living Learning Community consists of two representatives that make up the council. So this past year I took part in planning events and making events happen specifically for the LLCs, but I was able to reach out to other organizations to make these events happen. Some of these events include a pumpkin patch trip, so we planned for a bus to take some of the Living Learning Communities to Papa John's pumpkin patch. So it's a pumpkin patch. We also planned a dance party for the Living Learning Communities, and so the Living Learning Communities were able to showcase like a little dance. So I was able to share my Hawaiian dances with them. Also, last Friday, the RSA block party, I was the one who coordinated with Pets on Wheels, the nonprofit organization that provided the dogs for the RSA block party. And that was the first time that the Living Learning Community Council collaborated with RSA. So I was the one who had to, walk up to them and be like, "Hi, I have an idea. Can you like allow us to be there for the RSA block party?" So all these other leadership positions help me prepare for the External Secretary, because I know that I will have to reach out to other organizations outside of UMBC, and so that's what I want to grow in so I can become a better leader. Other leadership positions I've held in the past, my sophomore year of high school, I was the program manager for the Asian American Pacific Heritage Month Assembly. So it was the first year that my school was doing that, so I had to collaborate with other dancers and other people who were going to choreograph dances and the program as a whole. And I did choreograph tinikling then. Over the past 4 years, I've done like 4 tinikling choreographies, so it's a lot. Also, I was for 2 years, I was one of the main instructors for the Filipino Americans of Southern Maryland. It's Philam of Southern Maryland. And so every year they have a fiesta, and it's basically a larger version of Pistahan. And so I choreographed their tinikling, of course, again, which is why I really want to do other dances, which is why I want to be on e-board. I want to choreograph other dances. But I've also done Hawaiian dances because I was born and raised in Hawaii. So I do have a lot to offer, whether it's from my camera experience and dance knowledge and my teamwork skills and leadership skills. So that's where I really want to be on e-board, to grow as a person and to contribute as much as I can
secretary positions.
Yes.
And from my understanding, when one has difficulties fulfilling their position, the other has to step in. So you have that little team interaction between the two secretaries, and then your overall experience as a team member within the executive board. What's your experiences in being in part of an actual team, and how do you think you can work specifically with the secretary team?
The Shriver Floor representatives, there are 2 of those, so I'm working with one other person on the Shriver Floor. So I work very closely with them, and we help each other out, and I don't think I'll have a problem with working with someone else as well. I'm good at listening to opinions and making sure that everyone is heard and make sure everything's fair, and at the same time asserting my opinions in a way that doesn't overshadow or overtake someone else's. So I think I'll be fine. Any other questions? JP.
So I hear rumors that you may or may not be involved in an upcoming organization, and I'm not sure how your interactions with the LLC will go on in the future. But so how do you seek to balance all those different things going on in your upcoming years? Because you're and so naturally your course load is going to be a lot tougher, and as you take more leadership roles, it's going to get a lot tougher.
I think you kind of have to learn as it goes. Like, I know by the experience I have now, I know my limit, but in order to reach beyond my limit and to grow, you have to take on more slowly. So I think that I can slowly say that I'm only going to be taking on 1 or 2 more things next year, in addition to what I have this year. So I think it'll be a challenge and an experience that'll help me grow. So I think it'll be good.
You mentioned that you were in a leadership position in high school.
Yes.
Has there ever been a moment where you disagreed with a decision that was made?
Yes.
What did you do to, in response to it?
So concerning my program manager position, I wasn't program manager at first. At first I was just like another member, but then conflict between like the students and the teachers and other members forced the entire committee to disband. So I was like, what's going on? So I took like initiative to step up a little bit, and one of the problems that I had was because there was so much disorder, there wasn't really a leadership position at first, so I had to sort of fight my way to the top, and it was hard getting them to accept me as like the new leader. But once I was able to show them my ideas and my organization skills and like how to organize these things that it'll work nicely, they sort of accepted my ideas and accepted me as like the new sort of leader. Yes.
So one of our pillars is service So you mentioned that you're in the LLC.
Yes.
And they do a lot of service.
Yes.
How would you incorporate that within the process since it is lacking within the
I actually next year I might be returning as just a peer mentor, even though I don't live on the floor. I've been asked to come back as just a mentor, and so I think that shows that I have really good, strong connections with the faculty there. So I can definitely make I don't know, connections between FASA and them, as well as my own ideas, because I do plan to use my position in the Shriver Floor to sort of breaking ground. I have my own ideas for service as well that maybe FASA would be interested in.